What a world. Welcome to an episode of the debate. Oh, yeah. Let's do this shit tonight. I am the host, Ryan Janu, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere. Brandon Janu Show. Social media platforms Instagram threads, Brian Janu. Uh, Facebook, The Brian Janu Show. And yes, it's still here, TikTok, Brian Janu Show. But follow me on all of those social media platforms. Hope you guys enjoy all those social media platforms. Uh, Comment on all those social media platforms. I've been getting a lot of comments. A lot of people giving me some love on those platforms, so I appreciate them. Appreciate you if you've been you know showing me love on those platforms. Appreciate you. Really, where you can go is just YouTube channel, man. YouTube channel, Brandon New Show. YouTube channel, Brandon New Show. Um, yeah. Um, Go subscribe, comment. It helps in the algorithms. You comment, you like the vids and like the charts and everything. So let's get into it, man. Like I said, tonight's the debate. And if you know how I do my debates, you know how much fun I have with these motherfuckers. So, last week, I did a top 10 list of DMX. And I said, man, I'm going to do a debate, but the debate is going to be DMX versus Busta Rhymes. And it's not. DMX is one of the people that I will be debating tonight. But shockingly enough, so I went back because this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I went back and went through all of this and looked at a couple old episodes and I'm like, okay, who I haven't debated yet? Who haven't I used for a debate yet? Out of all the artists, and one artist in particular kept sticking out in my mind. One artist kept sticking out in my mind, and that is Queen Bridges on Nas. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's artist versus artist debate is gonna be Nas versus DMX. Yeah, that shit sounds crazy. That shit sounds nuts. I do this to myself. I swear to God, I do this to myself. But let's get into it, man. 6 topics, 6 rounds. If one just absolutely ruins out, then they win. If it's a 3-3 tie break, then I am clearly the only one that can tie break it. So yeah. um. So let's get into it, man. Nas versus DMX. Let's do this. So, first category is album debut albums. For Nas, it is the iconic, legendary, one of the greatest debut albums of all time, Illmatic. Yeah, Illmatic. Oh yeah, '94 was a different type of year, caliber of music, albums, everything when it came to hip hop, and Illmatic was definitely one of those albums that solidified itself and put Nas on the fucking map. It goes up against DMX's debut album. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Speaking of '90s albums that just solidified rappers, DMX. 1998. He didn't just drop one; he dropped two. Two number one albums, classics. But this album right here is the one that solidified DMX the most, put him on the motherfucking map, and made DMX one of the greatest rappers to ever do it. Same thing when I was with Illmatic. But who wins this round between Nas and DMX? I'm gonna go with Illmatic. As much as I love It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Illmatic is still regarded as probably one of the greatest rap albums of all time. it is a album of relevance. I to this day, you got what? You got The World Is Yours, uh his debut single, Halftime. You got a lot of great songs off that bitch, man. A lot of great songs off that bitch. And as a debut album, nah, don't get it twisted. It's dark and hell is hot. You got some classics off that bitch too. You know what I'm saying? Rough Riders Anthem, How's It Going Down. Some classics off that motherfucker. But it feels like just Illmatic is just like a lot of people don't regard it dark. It's dark and hell is hot. Like you still regard Illmatic. Some people say that this is probably Nas's greatest album he's ever done. Still to this day, the man dropped the album '94. He dropped it 3 months after I was born. Like, bruh, he dropped this album 3 months after I was born, bro. Like, come on, man. And it's still regarded as his greatest fucking album. That is crazy. That's fucking crazy. And DMX got way more different albums than just Nas's, Illmatic. So yeah, debut album, debut single, I should say. Halftime, like I said, came out in 1992, which is crazy. Halftime, um, off of Illmatic versus Get At Me Dog, featuring Sheik Luke, which is crazy to say Sheik was the first person to get out of the locks on the song. Not Styles P, not Jada, but Sheik Luke. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to think about. I'm gonna Get At Me Dog. I fuck with Halftime, but Get At Me Dog is the shit. That video, you ever seen that video? Holy shit! And then on top of that, I had an interview a long time ago with Law. Shout out to Law, and he actually told me that his grandfather, uh, riff his guitar riffs on Get At Me Dog was used, and DMX actually gave his family back their publishing, because he used his grandfather's guitar riffs and stuff. So yeah, that was really dope. That's so that alone gets Get At Me Dog a dub. You know what I'm saying? Number three, my favorite album by both of them. Now for DMX is Then There Was X, yeah, versus King Disease 2. I fuck with Illmatic. I fuck with Stillmatic, but King Disease 2 is the shit. And then it was X was fire though. Holy shit. You got what? Party Up, I think, on that album. Um Party Up. Excuse me. Party Up on that album. What these bitches want from a nigga. Oh man, they real. Yeah. 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 But I'm going King Disease 2. I fuck with King Disease 2. I fuck with that album. Him, him and Charlie Wilson, him and Eminem and EPMD. Yeah, that album's dope. That's a dope ass album, bro. That's a dope ass album. Think I think Spice is on King Disease 1, if I'm not mistaken. It might be on King Disease 2. I'm not sure, but Spice is a fire ass song too. With him, ASAP Ferg, and Fabio Foreign, that shit hard too. But I think it's on King Disease 1, if I'm not mistaken. Number four, their highest selling songs on musical platforms. For Nas, it is I Rule the World featuring Lauryn Hill versus Rough Riders Anthem. Shocker, right? Shocker. That's the biggest song for DMX. Shocker. Um, I fuck with If I Rule the World, and I talk about that in a fucking second. But I feel like DMX with Rough Riders Anthem, it was just different, bro. It was a different type of song, bro. And I'm gonna just give it to Rough Riders Anthem. That was a different type of song, bro. Like, and I love If I Ruled the World. You don't believe me, because the next one is my favorite song by them. If you did, if you listen to my top 10 list, you saw my top 10 list on Nas and DMX, you know these two songs. For DMX, like I said last week, was What These Bitches Want from a Nigga featuring Cisco. And for Nas, it is If I Ruled the World. I think this is Nas' best song ever. If I Rule the World, it is Nas' best song ever. That's just me. I think it's his best song ever. What These Bitches Want, I think it's DMX's best song. But if we're going off of just the sheer greatness of it, it's If I Rule the World. It's not even close. Like it's not even close. It's not even close. And the last category is who had the better year. Now, usually the sixth topic on this when it comes to the artist is always about something that is different. I always put something different. Who had the hottest year? Their debut year. For Nas, it was 1994. For DMX, it was 1998. So who had the hottest year? Who had the greatest year? In '94, Nas had to go up against what? Biggie, the Fugees. You had Pac still out. You had, I think, Outkast, I think, dropped no, not Outkast dropped like '96, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but you had what? Ghetto Boy. You had a lot of shit going on in '94 where Nas came into the game with Illmatic and it established himself. From DMX, '98, you had Jay Z that was hot. You had, you know, I think Wu Tang already had. I think Wu Tang was already out. I think Wu Tang had came out like '94 too, '94, '95, shit like that. But in '98, DMX established himself in a New York scene that was hot as fuck. You had Hove, you had Nas, you had Busta Rhymes, you had the Locks, you had everybody all coming out at the same time in New York at that time, and he still held his own. And that's why I'm saying I'm giving it to DMX. The man dropped two albums that went number one in '98. Two. He's got the dub. like, he got the dub. Like he got the dub. He clearly cleared that. So it is 3-3. It is 3-3. Ooh shit. Who do I go with? Both of these men are legends, icons, greats. If there was a who is the greatest rapper of the '90s, both of these men would be in a conversation, and they'd probably be top three or four to a lot of people. Probably under, maybe behind only Pac and Biggie. Biggie and Pac in my mind. Really Biggie, Hove, and then you know. But Hove didn't really get going until like '99, 2000s. Like Hove didn't really have that stranglehold on the rap game until like 2000s. I'm gonna say this though. X in '98, '99, 2000s. To see also, I didn't even put this into perspective. Billy, Billy, the movie Billy, the movie Billy, man, is still one of the greatest hip hop movies of all time. Them two men got in that movie and killed that shit. X was truly unhinged in that fucking movie, bro. And for Nas to be the one that had to always calm him down, bro. Yo, man, yeah, man. All in all, man, X is one of the greats. One of the greatest to ever do it. And there will never come a time where you will ever play with X, ever, when it comes to greatness. But for this, for this, I'm gonna give it to Nas. I'm gonna give it to Nas. I'm gonna give it to Nas because I feel like Nas is still regarded as still one of the best rappers that can still go. Now I'm not saying that because like you know, but I feel like with all that X went through, he could have aged out the game gracefully And that's not a knock on him, but it was just it took him a long time, you know, to get on. And then when he got on, if you watched the Rough Riders Chronicles on BET, you found out how much X really just was just around all of this shit, and he knew he was about to pop. And then I feel like Nas is truly regarded as one of the greatest to ever do it. As much as I love DMX, I don't think people give DMX those types of flowers. Like Nas is considered at least top five greatest rappers of all time. At least top five. You can have your own list about it, but a lot of people grew up on Nas. Not saying people didn't grow up on DMX, but I feel like Nas is considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. Not saying X isn't, but you hear a lot more people saying if it wasn't for Nas, I probably wouldn't have been a rapper. And that's the thing. I think DMX's spirit in the hip hop world was so needed because he didn't play that shit. He did not play that shit. And X could rap his ass off, which is another thing. But as much as I love DMX, I just feel like Nas is probably one is more. I grew up on Nas really heavy, and Nas is one of my favorite rappers of all time. That DMX is too, but Nas is my favorite rapper, one of my favorite rappers of all time. So I give it to Nas tonight. I give it to Nas. I give it to Nasty Nas. Esco. That is it. That is it. I'll be back with Life and Times Music next week with Busta Rhymes. I will be doing a Busta Rhymes artist breakdown. I'll be doing a top 10 list of Busta Rhymes. Now I got to figure out who the fuck I'm going to put against Busta Rhymes. I have no idea. But yeah, man. Until next time, man. This has been Brandon Janeau. This is the debate. Nas takes it tonight on a debate over DMX. Rest in peace to X. And go listen to both of those men's music on musical platforms everywhere. Until next time, I am Brandon Janeau. Peace.